Good evening, Groovy citizens, and happy Motivational Monday. So y'all listen, I'm already into the Christmas music. Will be a very special Christmas. 97.1 Wash FM in the DMV area. I don't know about where everybody else lives, but if you're in the DMV area, put it on 97.1 and you can get your Christmas music on. I figured that out yesterday because I was just pushing buttons and I said, oh, did I just hear Christmas music? So when I got in the car today, I tried it again and sure enough, it is here. So anyway, I just wanted y'all to hear that real quick so we can jump into today's video. I know it's a little late in the day, but you know what? Look, I had stuff to do, so don't come for me. I had stuff to do just like you did. So we're gonna jump right on into today's video because after I finish this video, I got to run across the street and pick up my mom's prescription for her. Did I say subscription? Prescription. I'm so sorry. And so I don't want to lose a little bit of daylight that I have left. Now today's topic, you guys, it's ways to stop overthinking everything and enjoy life. Do you realize that we spend so much time overthinking things? Well, I know I do. Now, I'm not as bad as I once was with this whole overthinking thing, but I do from time to time get into my headspace and I start to overthink things, and I cannot stand when that happens because it is so draining, especially knowing that things like that could actually cause me to have a seizure. So I try my best not to overthink things. And yeah, so let's talk about how we can do that. So some people are plagued with constant thoughts all day and all night. Chronic overthinkers rehash conversations they had yesterday. They second guess every decision that they make, and they imagine disastrous outcomes all day, every day. And that's really sad. But the reality is that there are some people that truly go through that. So here are 6 ways to stop overthinking. Let's jump right on in. Number 1, I said, notice when you're stuck in your head. So overthinking can sometimes happen and you may not be aware of it. So start paying more attention when this happens. Excuse me. Now, a perfect example of overthink or being stuck in your head is if, let's say, something happens and you didn't handle the situation in a way that, you probably could have handled it much better. And if you're not careful, you'll get stuck in your head and you will keep thinking or replaying that situation. You'll replay what they said, you'll replay what you said, then you'll think about what you could have said, what you should have said. And if you get the opportunity and it happens again, what you will say, and it's a never-ending cycle. So when you get in that place and you're stuck inside your head, I want you to say, stop. Whatever your name is, stop it. We're not doing this. It's done. It's over with. Could I have handled it much better? Yes, I could have. But I didn't, and it's all right because you know what? God gives us second chances. Actually, he gives us second, third, fourth, fifth, 20th. Some of y'all done had 100 chances to get it right, and you're still working at it. So if God is not condemning you because you messed up, stop condemning yourself, okay? Just cut it out. And just make sure that, like I said, you are aware of that. Yeah, it's 48 degrees. I'm waiting for my heat to kick up. So yeah, just be conscious of that. Because if you're not, now here's the other problem. Sometimes you're conscious of it and yet you continue to do it. So once you become aware that this is what you're doing, I need you to stop it right then and there. Cut it off. Do you understand what I'm saying? Cut it off. Don't keep going on and on and on with it. Number 2, stay focused on solving your problem or problems. So dwelling on your problem won't help anything, but spending time coming up with a solution is time well spent. So if you can't fix it, why stress over it? Honey, let me tell you something. I came to that conclusion a long time ago. If I can't do anything about whatever that situation is, Michelle's not stressing over it. Michelle's not worrying about it. I'm going to take it to the Lord and leave it there. because I've come to the conclusion that the only person that can fix whatever that thing is God himself. And so there's no reason for me to walk around stressing about it. So stay focused on solving the problem. So stay focused on a solution. And I don't even want you to overthink that. But if you're going to spend time on whatever that issue is, spend time on the solution, not what happened, because you can't go back and change that. Whatever I said to you all 5 minutes ago, I can't go back and change it. So why am I going to stress over it? I'm just not. What you need to do is take that time and come up with a solution for your problem. That's time well spent. And if we did more of that, then we wouldn't overthink things, right? Number 3, challenge your thoughts. So the next time you decide to overthink a thought, tell yourself your thought or your thoughts may be a bit exaggerated and extremely negative. Take a step back and look at the evidence that you have that makes your thought or your thoughts true or false. So challenge yourself, you know, and I've done that. I actually have done that where I've said, all right, now, Michelle, did you over-exaggerate whatever that issue was? I think you did, because you did A, B, C, and X, Y, Z. Or, no, I don't think you did, because you didn't do A, B, C, or X, Y, Z. So, you know, challenge your thoughts sometimes. And again, don't drag it out. Everything I'm sharing with you is not to be drug out forever and a day. Think about it, you know, give it a little bit of time to work through those things, and then let it go. Okay, let it go. Number 4, schedule time for reflection. So set aside 20 to 30 minutes every day to think about any and everything that you want to. Now listen to what I'm saying. Okay, listen to what I'm saying. I said 20 to 30 minutes. Now, if you need an hour, take an hour, of course. And I want you to think about anything and everything that you want to think about. What you think about during that time is nobody's business but yours, okay? Now, when your thinking time is up, be it 20, 30, 60 minutes, whatever time frame you give yourself, once it's up, I need you to move on to something else, something that doesn't require you to think about whatever it was that you were thinking about. So you give yourself that thinking time, and when that time is up, let it go. Let it go. Let's say I want to think about my relationship with my husband, Herbert. Now, I'm not married. I don't even know a Herbert, but this is just for example purposes only. And I said, well, you know what? I'm going to think about my relationship with Herbert for the next 30 minutes or the next hour. But then when that timer goes off, we're done with it. We are done thinking about Herbert, okay? Herbert, you have to wait till the next time I set up a thinking time. But it doesn't have to be, it could be your finances, it could be your relationship, it could be your job, it could be your business, it could be what you want to do in your flower bed come the spring. Whatever that thing is that you choose to spend your time thinking about during your thinking time, y'all love air quoting. Whatever you choose to think about, I want you to give it your full time and attention. But only during that thinking time. And when your thinking time is up, that's over with. You now have to move on to something else. And you need to set up another time of thinking and reflection for whatever those things are if you want to go back and revisit it. That way you don't get yourself all caught up, you know, just draining yourself. Number 5, learned mindfulness skills. So it's important to rehash yesterday or worry about tomorrow when you are busy living in the present. I'm sorry, I said important, impossible. It's impossible to, I figured that didn't sound right. It's impossible to rehash yesterday or worry about tomorrow when you are busy living in the present. Mindfulness will help you become more aware of the here and now. That is that's such a unique concept, but it's something that we don't think about often. If your mind is focused on the right here and right now, as I'm doing this video, I don't have time to think about yesterday. I don't have time to think about tomorrow. You know why? Because I'm focused on what's going on right here and right now. So if you practice staying in the moment. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Every now and then, I do have times where I'm in the here and now. I am in the present. But for some strange reason, my mind will drift back to something that may have happened, let's say last week. Or my mind is thinking about something that I need to do next quarter. Or in this case, maybe something that I want to do in January. So I have to make myself practice mindfulness and be in the moment. And say, Michelle, what are you doing? Stop it, stop it, stop it. I need you to focus on the here and now, because this is all you have. And truth be told, here and now is all any of us has. You can't go back to what happened yesterday. Tomorrow's not promised to you. So stay focused on the here and now. And like I said, it will help you, not be so stressed all the time. And lastly, number 6, change the channel. Let me say it one more time, change the channel. So telling yourself to stop thinking about something will backfire, okay? The more you try to prevent a thought from entering your brain, the more likely it is to keep popping up. You know why? Because your mind wants to think about this thing, but the other half of it keeps saying, no, go do away with it. And so the right side is saying, well, wait a minute, why can't I think about it? And the left side is saying, because we don't have time for that. But the right side now wants to explore. It's almost like, you know, sometimes you want that relationship that you know you can't have, but you didn't want it until you realized you couldn't have it. That's kind of the same thing. So instead of stop thinking, instead of stop thinking, you simply change the channel in your brain by changing your activities. So you may want to start exercising or change your conversation topic. Doing something different will put an end to the influx of negative thoughts. I don't know about you all, but on the off chance that I'm going to the gym to work out, I promise you, it doesn't matter what kind of day I've had, or if I'm just getting on my spinning bike. It doesn't matter how my day is going, how it went. When I get on that bike, my mind is focused. I've changed the channel. So I've drawn out the outside world or whatever's going on in that moment, because my mind is focused on being on my bike. That's all that matters to me at that moment. I mean, seriously, that's it. Just like when I'm doing my videos, and my goal is to motivate those persons that will watch this video. My mind is not focused on anything that I've done earlier today or anything that I still need to do before I take my behind to bed. It's just not focused on that. My mind is right here and right now with what I'm doing. So you see, I just changed the channel. I changed the channel because I don't have enough headspace. I don't know about you all to be trying to keep all this stuff in there. When I'm in my here and now moment, that's exactly where I am. And that's all I have time for. So all I'm telling you to do is as the suggestion is to change the channel. Because every time you tell yourself to stop thinking about something, you know what I'm talking about. You sitting around and you thinking about that individual that has just wasted your daggone time, and your mind keeps going to it, and you start to think about what you could have done different. You start thinking about why you shouldn't have given that person your time at all, or you start to think about the warning signs that probably were there, and had you been paying attention, you would have seen them. And you say, you know, I'm not going to think about Craig. I'm just not going to do it. Or I'm not going to think about Carla. I'm not going to do it. And just as soon as you say that, your mind slips right on back into that same conversation. Well, just get up and change the channel. Go do something else that requires you to focus on what you're doing and not think about Craig or Carla at all. Get behind, if you're going to go, maybe you decide, I'm going to go and do my grocery shopping. You don't have time to think about them because you need to focus on driving. You need to focus your full time and attention on the road. And then when you get to the grocery store, you need to focus on the groceries that you need to get. You don't have time to think about them. Just change the channel. So let's do a quick recap and I'm going to let you be. So today we talked about ways to stop overthinking everything and to start enjoying life. And I said, number 1, notice when you're stuck in your head. These will be in the description box. Number 2, stay focused on solving your problem. Number 3, challenge your thoughts. Number 4, schedule time for reflection. Number 5, learn mindfulness skills. And number 6, change the channel. Listen, I hope that this helps whoever it is that's listening to it, and and you put this into practice as you find yourself beginning to overthink things. And I promise that you will live a much happier life. So if you're new to watching my videos, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for giving me some of your time. If this is not your first rodeo, I want to say welcome back. Y'all know I miss you when I don't get a chance to see you. Go out there, enjoy the rest of your motivational Monday. And I want you all to have a great week on purpose and start putting these practices into place. And I promise you, you will have a much more relaxed life. I promise you that you will. Y'all know the drill. You know my spiel. I love you all to the moon and back, and there's nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing that you can do about it, because that will never, ever change. I love you. I want nothing but the best for you, and I know that you will become much better people, and you'll stop overthinking things. Until Wednesday, you guys take care.